Welcome, welcome, welcome to yet another Wednesday. And today I'm going to talk about self-care and what that looks like when you're struggling with fatigue. I know that is a topic that can be quite a struggle sometimes. And I talked about this in early December as well, but it's a topic that I feel is worth bringing up several times because it is important. It is sometimes one of the few things that we can do when we are struggling with fatigue. And so if that is you, I hear you. And I invite you to, first of all, find that place in yourself that is compassionate with yourself, that has patience with yourself. Because we live in a world where there are all these ideals of what self-care looks like, right? There's all this research around what kind of food you should eat, how often you should exercise, how you should take care of your skin. And if you look at, hold on, if you look at, I'm sorry, someone called right there. If you look at advertisement is full of all these skincare products that they want you to make. They want to make you feel like you need them in order to take care of yourself, in order to feel good, in order to look good, etc., 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 etc. So we live in a jungle of advice around self-care. And so I want to start by talking about what is self-care and why do we do it, right? What's the point of it? So what it is, I think, becomes a little bit more tangible when we look at why we want to do it, right? So the way I see it is you want to do self-care because it feels good. Because it's a way of taking care of yourself. It's a way of taking care of all of yourself so that you can do and live the life the way you want to and do the things that you really want to do. And I mean, how many of us were taught as children to do things because they feel good, right? I wasn't. Were you? Did your parents say, oh, you know, spend as much time in the bath because it feels good and just let me know when you're ready? Or what would feel good for you to eat today? Or what clothes would feel good for you to wear? What do you want to wear today? Okay, some parents do this with their kids, right? But there are all kinds of things that you can do that are part of self-care. And when I think about the struggle of it, for me, for instance, when I was at my worst with chronic fatigue, taking a shower as self-care was like a huge effort for me. So at the worst, I had a shower once a week, and thinking about it right now, it's like, that's crazy, but that's what it was like. Because I would feel so exhausted from just taking a shower that I prioritized eating with my family instead. And it didn't matter that I couldn't have a conversation with them because all the energy I had, I used to just sit down and eat together with them. The reason why this came up today was because I did some self-care today that wasn't part of what I usually do. So let me explain. I had an appointment at the gynecologist, and afterwards I felt so sore in my yoni. And I came home and I was like, oh God, this does not feel good at all. And so the idea of doing a yoni steam popped into my head. Now, there is no research that says that yoni steam is effective or good or healthy or anything. And if you look it up, you will probably find all kinds of things that say that it can be a risk as well, right? But I decided to do it. And I sat down and it felt amazing. It felt so good. And I lit a candle. I had some herbs that smelled really well and that I knew were good for a yoni steam. And I put some beautiful music on, and I just sat there and with my eyes closed and just feeling how good it felt to sit there and give that gift to myself. So that's what self-care can look like. It doesn't have to be the same thing every day. It can be random stuff here and there. And another part of this, I think, is the importance of becoming conscious of what is the self-care that I need that makes me feel good. And sometimes we do it without even thinking about it. So the invitation here is to, first of all, notice what self-care is self-care that makes you feel good, that is important to you. And then, second of all, when you do it, when you notice, okay, so I'm doing something that's self-care right now, to really stop and find the pleasure in doing it. It can be as simple as when you're putting hand cream on your hands, to close your eyes and really feel how good it feels to give your hands that massage with the hand cream. And to slow down as you do it and just feel the pleasure of it. Because what happens when we do that? If we take, for instance, the hand cream thing. First of all, when you do that slowly and with attention and awareness, it will send a cascade of what I call the feel-good hormones in your body. And these are the hormones that are also a very important part of healing the body. And so that's why I'm bringing this whole thing of like slowing down and really noticing the pleasure of doing the self-care. Because when we slow down, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know what that bubble was about. I guess it's about, yes, slow down. It's really important. And there were fireworks as well. I don't know, did you see those? Either way, I love fireworks. But okay, so back to slowing down and the importance of slowing down and being present with ourselves. And I know this may sound like, yeah, but when I live with fatigue, everything is slow. But this is a different kind of slow. This is the kind of thing that we're not just taking a shower because we need to clean or brushing our teeth because, you know, that's what we do, or doing the hand cream because it's automatic, right? It's about the slowing down and becoming really present with yourself. Imagine that, I don't know if you have children, but if you do, imagine that when your child was a little baby and you have just given the baby a bath and you're drying them, and then maybe you put some skin lotion on them, and think of the care that you do that with the love that you do that with. So I invite you to use that same care and that same love when you do something for yourself that is, say, self-care. So I'm going to leave you with that, and I would love to hear in the comments what self-care is important to you, and what self-care that you want to do with more awareness, with more presence with yourself. That's one thing. And the other invitation is to tonight, this evening, spend some time writing down, what do you usually do that is self-care for you? And why is it important? Because that will help you bring that up into the conscious mind, so that next time you do it, you're like, oh, right, I can stop and I can do this, and I can pay a little more attention to the pleasure in the experience. And here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're moving into spring. So one of the things that I love doing is sitting in the sun with a cup of coffee and just enjoying the warmth of the sun on my skin. So sending you so much love and wishing you a lot of pleasure with your self-care.